Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Sharon, and please consider subscribing for more amazing content. So in today's video, I want to do something that I haven't done on this channel before. This is a topic that I have wanted to create a content about, but I used to always think that no, I'm not in that position to talk about this. I'm not in that level to talk about this. But I just told myself, guy, why not? Why not? Okay, you keep waiting till you are in that level, according to me, or that position to talk about this, you would almost never talk about it. Okay, so I feel like for the level that I'm in, I can talk about this, and there are definitely going to be people who this video will be helpful to. Without wasting much time, let's head right into it. So in this video, I basically want to talk about habits that made me financially independent at a young age. Finance, money, all of that. I want to talk about that. Seeing young people say they're broke actually makes me feel some type of way, because I personally feel that money is easy to make, but the only thing is being able to retain it, being able to keep it. And that's basically what I'm going to be talking about, how I was able to maintain and grow my income to the state of being financially independent, if that makes any sense. So the first habit will have to be differentiating my needs from my wants. So many persons do not actually know the difference between their needs from their wants. And in a layman's term, your needs are basically those things you cannot do without. Like, you have to have them. It's important. You need them for your day-to-day life. While your wants are those things that you can actually do without, but once in a while you still have to have them. If that makes any sense. I'm trying to make this as easy as possible. Okay, this was a skill I had to learn. I had to know those things that I really need and those things that I do not need, that are my wants, because when you end up spending money on your wants and not your need, you tend to get to that point where you will not even have money to spend on your needs. And these things are things that you are your necessities, that you cannot do without them. As a growing person, or a growing entrepreneur, or a growing business person, or a young person who is trying to grow finance, this is something you should really know how to do, because if you don't, it's going to make things difficult for you, and you just find yourself running from being broke to having money to being broke again without having a balance. So for me, your needs basically are your food, your data. For me, data is a need, because most of my business is online, and so I have to always be online. Your utility, if you stay alone, if you pay your rent, if you do these things by yourself, like if you don't live under your parents and you are alone, you have to pay your rent, you have to buy food, you have to pay for your utility bills and things like that. Those things are your needs, and they are the things that you're supposed to be concentrating on. Then when you feel like you have more than enough, then you can start to think of spending money on those things that are your wants and not your needs. Okay, for example, your clothes, shoes, bags, to me, they are not needs, but to some persons they are actually needs. Okay, so what might be my needs might not be your needs. So let me give you an instance. Somebody who is a fashion creator, who makes money from creating content around fashion, to them, buying clothes, shoes, and bags might be their needs, because this is what they create their content around. This is what they make. This is where they make their money from. So to them, buying these things are needs, but to me, they are not needs, because I'm not like a fashion content creator, and I don't need to always buy these things. I just need to buy the clothes that I need to wear, so so I'm not naked. Okay, so that's one example. Okay, so you need to be able to know the things that you cannot do without and things that you can actually do without. That is not to say that you shouldn't spend money on your wants. For me, what I do, because I know that I do not have enough, I always write my wants on a list of paper. It could be on my notes, on my phone, or anywhere. And when I feel like I reach a goal and I need to reward myself with something, I always go to that list to check for what it is that I want to get for myself. Okay, so I know that, oh, if there's this bag that I saw and I feel like I want it, I don't go right ahead to make the purchase for that bag immediately. I first of all write it down and tell myself, okay, I want to get this bag. And if I reach a goal, or I feel like I have extra cash that I can spend on something that is not a need, I go on that list to check for all the things that I have written there, and I be like, okay, this is time for me to get this bag. and then I buy it for myself. So that's basically what I do, and that has really helped me save a lot of money, because sometimes you may end up even realizing that you don't actually want these things. So many times I've actually written things on my want list that I want, and when I go back to that want list, I just realize that I don't need this thing anymore, and I just stroke it out. So imagine I had gotten it at the time that I initially wanted it. I probably would have wasted money on something that in the long run I would no longer want. Another example is getting the phone. To some persons, upgrading your phone might not be a need, but to other persons it might be a need. Let me give you an instance. For me, I am a content creator, as you guys know, and upgrading my content, upgrading the quality of my content is something that I'm always looking forward to, which means that I have to always think of upgrading my phone or my gadgets to that gadget that is actually like, you know, doing it for me or giving me that quality content that I'm looking for, right? So there was a time that I remember emptying my bank account to buy myself a phone. That was like the first iPhone I got. Like, I legit emptied my bank account to get that phone. At that point, to some persons, that was a crazy thing to do, right? But to me, it wasn't a crazy thing, because I knew that I needed this phone for content creation, which would definitely bring me back money. And that phone actually made times 10 of what I even spent on getting it, even before I changed the phone, right? So you see, you have to just basically know what you need and what you do not need. So the second habit is basically buying luxury last. And this is almost like what I already explained in differentiating my needs from my wants. If I know that there are things that I want, I just, like I said, write them in a list, and later on I can go back on that list when I feel like I have enough money to spend on it and I get it. Okay, so what can be luxurious to me might not be luxurious to you. I'll just give you guys an example. So you see that luxury bag or shoes or clothes that you want, you can actually, like I said, put them in your want list and maybe later go back to that list to get it. But if you feel like you have the money to buy it at the time, you still need to take your time to really think if you really want this thing, and then you can go right ahead to buy it. Next habit will have to be never being afraid to take risk. So guys, risk taking is something that I am already used to and I'm still doing. You know, starting my financial journey, I took so many crazy risk. I could remember basically just, you know, saving up money to start up a business that I didn't even have any idea about. I know that's not a good thing to do, right? But it's also a good thing on the other side. If the business did well, yes, it's a good thing. But if the business did not do well, fine, it's not a good thing. But the good thing about taking risk is that you already know that, fine, I've done this thing, it worked out, you'll be happy. And if it doesn't work out, you'll be like, okay, move on to the next. Because if you do not take that risk and you do not do that thing, you would always be left with the guilt of what if, especially when you see somebody doing this particular thing and the person is, you know, flourishing in that thing, and you start to beat yourself and be like, oh, if I had known, I would have done this. When you feel like taking a risk, just take it and don't just, you know, really beat yourself about what the outcome is going to be, because most of the times it turns out well, and even if it doesn't turn out well, you move on. You already know that you've learned what you need to learn. You know that, okay, this is, even if you want to do that thing again, you already know that, okay, this was what I did before that I didn't do well, so I have to work on this and, you know, do better, right? And when you're taking risk, please ensure to take calculated risk. Don't just say, oh, because I want to take risk, I just dive and do something. For example, if you want to start a business, starting a business is always a risk, okay? So you don't always know what the outcome is going to be. But how you can be able to manage that risk, how you can be able to make it a calculated risk, is basically sitting down and asking yourself if you have all the necessary information about that business. Though you would not know everything, but at least try to equip yourself with as much information as you can, and that will also help you. For example, take your time to study the market and be like, okay, so this is how the market is going, or this is how I'm going to market my brand, how I'm going to do this. Like, take your time to really do your feasibility study, understand that business you want to go into. So even if it's going to turn out bad, you wouldn't be so much affected by whatever the outcome is going to be, if it's going to be a negative outcome. Next and most important habits that I learned that has really helped me to maintain financial independence is always learning new skills. Guys, I cannot overemphasize on this, but learning new skills, guys, helped change my life a lot. Like my top paying source of income was a skill I learned on my own, watching YouTube videos, and that's wig making. This skill has actually paved way for all my other businesses, because I made the money that I used to start up my other businesses from these skills. From these skills, I was able to create a YouTube channel where I was teaching other people how to do these things, and my channel grew so much that I made lots of money from the videos that I made from this skill, posting them online. I never go wrong with learning new skills. I have so many skills that I know that I have learned. Some I do not monetize, some I monetize, and they're making money from me right now. And some are just there, some I've even forgotten about them. It's maybe when I see something and I'll be like, oh, I know how to do this thing. I know how to make bags. I know how to bake. I know how to do makeup, even though my makeup is not all that pegging. I know how to do so many things that I don't even know that I know how to do, okay? What learning skills can do for you: one, you can monetize it and make money off it like I do. Secondly, it can help you save money, okay? For me, I don't have to go to a professional makeup artist to do my makeup, even though I know I don't know how to do like the best makeup, but I know that my makeup is good enough for me to go to wherever I want to go to or do whatever I want to do. So this way I'm saving the money that I should have spent, you know, paying a makeup artist to do my makeup. I can bake cakes if I want to celebrate my birthday or that of a loved one. Instead of buying a cake, I can actually decide to bake a cake if I have the time to do it. What else? I can do so many things that I don't even that I cannot even remember I know how to do. I can make hair. I can do a lot. I'm naturally very creative. This is not me being proud or anything, but I naturally know how to do so many things that, like I said, I have monetized some of the skills. Even in the past, I have monetized some of the skills, and then when I see that, okay, this is not a market that I want to stay for long, I just move on to the next thing. Yes, so that's it. Learning new skills, guys, can help change your life, can help give you that financial independence you're looking for, can help you do a lot of things for you. The next skill that helped me was living below my means. Like, you can never catch me living above or on the same level with my means. No matter how much I make, like, I'm always particular about how I live my life, how I spend, what kind of clothes I wear. Like, when it comes to fashion, I'm not even that fashionable, and I don't give it, let me not use the F word, sorry. And I don't care, because those things don't really move me. They don't move me. All I want to, like, basically just spend my money on is things that are actually making money for me. And also, I only care much about my needs, things that are a necessity, things that I cannot do without. And if I decide to spend money on those other things that are not my needs, I know that, okay, there are still some kind of need wants. Okay, to me, there are needs, there are need wants, and there are wants. Okay, need wants are basically those things that are not so important, but they are still kind of important, and they are also wants. Okay, so that's how I categorize things. When I see something and I be like, oh, I like this thing, I ask myself, is it a need? No, if it's not a need, is it a need want? That's something that I don't really need, but I still need it, right? Okay, and then is this a want? And then I just know how to place it. And if I want to decide to spend money on them, I know where to check. I know what to buy next. I know how to spend my money. So I'm always like living below my means. You can never catch me living above my means. Never. It's not possible, because I know how hard it is to make money. So I don't waste. The only thing I know I spend money on that I can be wasteful sometimes about is food. And food is also a need, because I have to eat to be alive, to make the money that I'm making, right? First thing is monetizing my hobby. My hobbies are basically things that I like to do. Monetizing it, wig making. At some point, wig making used to be my hobby, but now, yeah, it's really stressful. I'm not even going to lie, but I don't have any option but to still do it, because it brings the cash, it brings the money. So anything that brings the money for me, I don't mind how stressful it is, I do it. Yes, so your hobbies could be those things, those skills that you know how to do, that you enjoy doing. Why not monetize it? Why are you wasting it? Why is it just there? Okay, content creation was something I like doing, I really love doing. Like, I could remember watching Ronke Raji, then she's a makeup content creator, then now she does like family lifestyle content. Our content used to be like mainly around makeup. So I learned doing makeup from Ronke Raji and a few other makeup content creators. So I really love how Ronke would sit in front of the camera, talking to the camera, doing makeup, doing all that. And I've always wanted to be like her. Like, I've always wanted to have that feeling of just sitting in front of the camera, talking, having people watch me, having people watch what I do, having people like what I do. So like, to me at that time, that was something I liked doing. When I started content creation, I used to really like creating content. It's just one kind of feeling, one kind of really nice feeling. Now that I'm being lazy when it comes to content creation, kind of, because my businesses are taking a whole lot of my time, but I'm trying, you know, the best I can to go back to being serious with content creation. Okay, you have those things you know how to do, that you know people are interested in. Why not monetizing? Is calculated spending. This yes, this is a skill that I'm proud of myself that I know how to do. Like, I don't spend money anyhow. I have books, lots of books, lots of diaries, lots of things. Like, I always calculate. I'm always calculating. I'm always planning. I normally set monthly budgets and I tell myself, okay, these are the things that I want to do for the month financially. Like, these are the things that I want to spend money on. Okay, I need to pay, I need to subscribe my phone, I need to buy food stuff, I need to do this, I need to do that. I always tell myself this. So if there's anything that I later spend money on that was not on that list, you know, it's something that I could not avoid doing. You know, it's something that is very important, that I have to spend money on that thing, right? And checking how much is coming in, how much is going out, what am I spending money on? I know some persons, you're not supposed to do that, but for somebody like me who is just like trying to grow my finance, and I'm not there yet, so I care about these things a lot, because yeah, I'm trying to grow my finance, right? I don't have all the money. I'm not an odogu. So I have to calculate. I have to check, balance, do everything, right? Yeah, so calculated spending is also an habit I feel like every growing financial person needs to know or have or learn about. Thing is setting goals and making plans. Yeah, I feel like it's just crazy for somebody to just live their life. They don't have plans, they don't have goals, and they're not setting plans to achieve their goals. Like, how would you just live your life like that? Like, how? Like, I always set goals, monthly goals, weekly goals, though I know at the time I became less motivated and I didn't really care about these things. But these things really helped me a lot. Like, sometimes I go back to my goals that I set like 4 to 5 years ago, and I just see that some of these goals I have smashed them, even though I did not smash them at the time that I planned to smash them. But the fact that, yes, I did this thing, I told myself I was going to do this thing and I did this thing, it always, you know, makes me feel happy about myself. It always makes me feel a type of way, which is a good way. And you know what setting goals can help you do, keeps you motivated, and it just gives you the morale you need to get that thing done. On a normal day, you would be able to do that thing, but you would not know that you are able to do that thing because you did not have it registered in your head that you need to do that thing. So when I set goals and I tell myself, I want to do this thing by this time, I have registered it in my head. Most times I always write it so I can always go back to see it, because if you decide to keep informations in your head, sometimes you can forget. So when I write them down, I always go back and I be like, oh, this is what I said I want to do. And that just keeps me pumped. It gives me the morale, and I just basically try to work towards achieving that thing. So many times I've smashed my goals. So many times it doesn't just work. And I don't just beat myself about it. I move on. If it's to push it to the next year, I push it to the next year. If it's something that I'm not really interested in, maybe I found a better option, I just like forget about that goal and then set another one. And yeah, setting goals, I can't overemphasize on that. That has actually brought me to where I am today. Like, most of the things that I see myself doing now were things that I have planned. So I've planned a long time ago that I was going to do, and I ended up doing them, even though I did not do them at the time that I said I was going to do them. So the next habit will have to be having multiple streams of income. I know sometimes people will say this is not good, jack of all trade, master of none, but that doesn't concern me. Yes, like I try as many things as I can try. The ones that work out, they work out. I give them my all. The ones that don't, I just like leave them and move on to the next. Having multiple streams of income is a really good thing to do for yourself, because you don't have to depend on just one. For me, my streams of income are a lot. I have YouTube content creation here. I make money off Google AdSense. I also make money off Amazon Associates, which is Amazon affiliates, where people purchase items on Amazon using my links, and then I get a commission. I also do my businesses. I have so many businesses that I run. And, you know, so many things. I sell my classes, my courses. I sell so many things. Like, I just, everywhere. When you have multiple streams of income, you can never say that you're broke, because even if this business is not doing well at this time, this one will be doing well, or this one will be doing well. There's always one that will be paying at that time. For me, sometimes I may not have clients who want to make wigs, but my jewelry business can actually be making sales for me. Or even if that's not making sales, YouTube, of course, every month I know that I must always get YouTube paycheck. That one is just a sign due, even if the money is not so much this month, because you get paid based off how much views you get every month. So even if my views are not so much, I know that I would definitely make something, because somebody would definitely watch my video that month, right? So you get what I'm trying to say? Like, just have multiple streams of income, and that's where learning skills comes in. So if you have multiple skills that you've learned, you can monetize all of them, and once in a while you can have any of them, you know, bring in money for you. Next habit that really helped me was to never chase trend. Chasing trend is something that I don't even know how to do. Like, how if I see a particular style of clothes trending, I hate that. I just naturally hate that clothes, except it's something that I really like, a style that I really like. But you know, if something is trending, I just naturally develop hatred for that thing. Recently started to, you know, try to chase trend, because I felt like it's going to help my content career. Because now, you know, our content creation is about how good you are with catching up with trend, what's trending, what's buzzing the internet at the moment. So if you don't know how to chase trend as a content creator, it's really going to affect your content creation game. So I had to like start learning how to chase trend, creating content, because it helped my business, because I'm basically just using it to try to grow my audience for my business, right? But every other thing, clothes, shoes, bags, this is a trending bag, or this is a trending hairstyle, this is trending clothes, I don't even know how to do that shit. I don't even like anything I see trending at that time, except I just really like the design and I want to have. Next habit will be to never seek validation from people. Like, people will always talk, people will always have something to say. People will always talk. No matter what you do, people will always talk. If you do this thing, people will say, why are you not doing that? And if you finally decide to do that, they will say, why did you not do this? So if you are the type of person that you always seek people's validation, this is really going to affect your finance. For me, let me give you an instance. I had friends in school then, went to a midwifery school, and we used to stay in the hostel. So everybody was seeing everybody at that time. Staying in the hostel was a compulsory thing. I had classmates then in the hostel who would legit mock me for wearing or for dressing a type of way. They'll be like, oh, without the money. Because when I was in school, like, I've started this my financial journey for far back as at when I was like 17, 18 years. Like, the moment I just got into school, that was when I became like really serious with this whole thing. Even before I got into school, I was already doing 1 or 2 businesses at home as a small girl. I could remember baking cakes and, you know, keeping my mom's shop and having people buy. And when they buy, I take the money, I pay what people call olidara or thrift or ajo. Yes, no, not ajo. I think ajo is the one that people collectively donate money for somebody. No, that's not the one. Olidara, like the one that you give somebody money to help you keep, and they just like, they are keeping the money, they are taking it, or you paid today. That one, I used to do that with my cake money. I used to do that with my cake money. And after everything, when I got into school, I gathered all the money and I used it to buy tools for baking cakes. So I was baking cake in school for my friends. When they want to do their birthday, they come to me, I bake cakes for them. I was also doing makeup for my friends then, 500 naira or 1000 naira makeup. I can't even imagine I could get 500 naira to do makeup for somebody. Yeah, so back to what I was saying. So I was doing lots of businesses in school. I even sold clothes, I sold drinks, I sold recharge card or call credits. I sold a lot of things in school. And my friends would be like, after all these things you're doing, after all this money you're making, see the kind of clothes you're wearing, see the kind of hair you're wearing. Then I used to also make wigs. So they'll be like, you make wigs, but these are the kind of wigs you're wearing. We don't even see you wear these wigs. We only see you on your hair. Like if I used to seek validation from people, those things would have gotten to me, and then I would see the need to always want to level up to the standard that they'll be like, okay, yes, she's doing well, she's this, and that will tell a lot. That would affect my finance a lot, because me, I am not even interested in those things, trying to look good physically. I'm trying to build wealth, I'm trying to build money, I'm trying to build finance. So the only thing that I was like actually spending my money on was, you know, stocking my business, buying things that are actually, you know, bringing me money, buying gadgets, buying those things. So those were the things that I was like spending my money on. So when they're not seeing me wearing good clothes, they'll be like, ah, look at the kind of clothes she's wearing, or this is the kind of, I had one friend that would call me carpenter without chair. She'd be like, I'm a carpenter without chair, right? Because I make wigs, and she was not seeing the wigs on me. I was selling clothes, and you know, I had like, I wasn't so fashionable, right? So seeking validation from people would really affect you. So because I did not really care about those things that they say, I know my focus, I know where my mind is, I know what I plan to achieve. I know that those are the things that I'm not even bothered about. I was just focused, and I just kept doing what I was doing. So never seek validation from people. It's going to affect you. Another tip is to save. Saving, I can never overemphasize on this. Always save, but don't always save. I used to have this mindset that, oh, save, but now I don't really have that mindset of saving. I now have the mindset of investing. At the time, I used to be really scared to spend money, because I know how hard it took me to make that money, and spending the money, I just be scared. I'll be like, oh, what if I spend this money and it doesn't come back? Sometimes I want to do businesses, and I'll be like, no, what if I do this business and it doesn't work out? So because I still want to take that risk, instead of spending, let's say 100k, I'll be like, okay, let me spend 20k or 50k and save the rest. That was a good thing to do, but at the same time, it's not also a good thing to do. So save, but still know the limits to save. Okay, by the time I had one account I opened, and I just sent like 200,000 naira into the account, and I left it for, I think, about 3 months or so. I did not even touch it, and I think that money grew to about 203,000 naira or 204,000 naira thereabouts. I've gotten the actual amount. Like, wow, so for 4 whole months I only made for about 4,000 naira saving this money. Whereas if I had, you know, invested that money into a good business, a business that I sat down to really think or calculate or study, and it went well, I would definitely make ×2 or ×3 of that amount of money. So saving is a good thing, but also know your limits to saving. What I do is I save, and at the same time I invest. I'm looking for what to put my money into, how to invest my money to make more money, rather than just having the money sits there in my bank account. So, but saving is very, very important, because I could remember that I did not touch my YouTube money for a whole year. Like, I legit just had the money sit there in my AdSense account for over a year. And when I finally decided to use it was when I had like big plans to go into a business, and I needed more cash. And that was when I, you know, use it. So if I had spent the money like when I started making the money on so many other things, I would probably not have that money in that amount to, you know, add to what I needed to do at the time that I used it, right? So save, and while you're saving, also try to find what you can invest your money in. Guys, another point I would like to add is learning how to say no. I am sorry that I'm looking a bit different. I actually forgot to add this point, and when I remembered, I was like, this is a very important point that I must add. Very, 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 very important, okay? And that's learning how to say no, okay? There is a phrase in Pidgin that says, them not they use shame chop poison. It's something that I feel like everybody needs to know. Sometimes people ask us to do things that we are not okay with, and because we don't know how to say no, we just end up doing these things and later start to regret doing them, okay? Let me give you an instance. Your friends want to go for a hangout, like you guys want to like just go out, chill out or something, and now they're asking you to come. And of course, you know that everybody has to play a part in the expenses financially. And it's not like, you know, one person is saying, okay, I'm going to take care of the bills for everybody. Now, like, everybody have to collectively participate in the bills. And you know that you're not financially okay for that kind of outing at that particular time. And because you don't know how to say no, you now decide to spend money that you already saved for something very important, and you later start to regret it. So I feel like learning how to say no is going to save you all of this stress. Like, it's not that hard. Like, nobody's going to beat you, nobody is going to do you anything. People are definitely going to talk. You might even still pay and still go for the outing, and people will still talk. So why are you so concerned? Okay, so ever since I learned how to start saying no to some certain things, like, I really saved myself a lot of stress and a lot of things that I would have, you know, regretted doing. I just, like, if it's not something I'm okay with, no, I'm sorry, I can't. But try to say it in a polite way though, and everybody just move on. Everybody will be fine. Okay, another thing that I want to add is contentment. If you are not contented with what you have, you always find yourself spending and spending and spending and spending and spending even when you do not want to spend. So this is a skill that has really helped me. Like, I am very comfortable with what I have. I don't always have this mindset of wanting to have things because I see people having them or because I see people using them. If it doesn't appeal to me, if it's not something that I feel that I need or something that is very important that I need to have, I don't even bother about it. Okay, there's always this need to want more. There's always this need to get something. There's always this need to do something. But you need to know when to be able to say, okay, I'm okay with this, I'm cool with this, I don't need this, I don't need to get this, right? There's this saying that the human want is insatiable. You can never satisfy the human wants. So you would tell yourself, oh, when I finally get this, I'll be fine. But in the real sense, you will never be fine. You will always want more. Like, the moment you get that one, you want the one that is bigger than that one. So let me give you an example. Someone can say, no, when I have just 2 hairs, I will be okay, I will not get more. But the truth is that when you get those 2 hairs, you want to buy more. That's when you see the other one that is so fine or finer than the one you already have, and you want to get that one. And clothes as well, or I don't know why I'm always using clothes, shoes and bags, but that's like the examples that can actually come to my mind. Sorry, I'm not trying to say buying these things are bad, but just know when to buy it and when not to, right? So, like, you just need to learn how to be able to say, I'm comfortable with these things that I have. But where contentment is not good is you being comfortable with your situation and not wanting to work on getting better. Like, let's say you set a goal and you hit that goal and you're like, okay, fine, I've hit this goal, I'm okay here, I'm not going anywhere. No, you should always strive to do better. So contentment is good. At the same time, it is not good in some situation. You should always strive to do better with your life, strive to, you know, reach higher goals, strive to do better things. But when it comes to spending, you need to know when to say, okay, I'm okay. Like, don't always want to do things because you see people doing them, or because you see that, oh, this person has this thing, I want to get it because this person has it. If it's something that you really need, fine, you can get it. But if it is not, you just have to tell yourself that it is not necessary. Okay, so the last thing that I want to say is to always learn, always source for information, always try to learn something, always try to learn every day. Because, like, when I'm online on my phone or I'm talking to somebody, I always try to see what I can pick, and one way or the other, these informations always have a way of helping grow my finance, of helping me attain my financial independence. Okay, so I hope you guys found this video helpful. I legit just, you know, thought about creating this video, though I've actually wanted to create it a long time ago, but I just kept on pushing back and saying, no, don't do this, this is not the right time, this is not the right time. But I decided to do it today. Yes, and I hope, you know, you were able to learn a thing or two from the video. Please, if you do not forget to give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment in the comment section below. Also subscribe to my channel for more amazing content. Thanks for watching, and bye.